Tray tables in the upright position.
Make me fly. Watch me kiss the sky. Go move on me. It is all it is with you by my side. There's no way I can lose. See me fly.
Goddamn, that my memory served me. Energy from everything kinetically surging. Better never get another chance to be this young. Woke up to see this sun. New days, I'ma get me one. Been a long road coming, thinking God blessed every run. All a million little pieces we've become. Any bucket list, I'ma leave it done. All I need's a good cup of coffee, good plump in the concrete. Hooked up in Brooklyn, took Canal Street. Brought every watch in his jacket, just so maybe I remember this time, everything that happened. Then I'm zipping in my friends a mask where the legal grass is. Just give me the sativa stash. It's been down, now it seems it's backwards. Got a beat from in, now we rolling down the street, just laughing so fly.
Make me fly. Watch me kiss the sky. Then you move on me. It is all it is with you by my side. There's no way I can lose. See me fly. When you move on me, it is all it is with you by my side. There's no way I can lose. See me fly.
When I'm with you, my dear, I'm far away from here. Must be the magic. Must be the magic. I found you.
Make me fly.
That's right.
Watch me kiss the sky. Then you move on me. It is all it is with you by my side. There's no way I can lose. See me fly.
Oh shit, mountain smooth, cause he reaching new altitudes. Hanging on every word like a mountain view. When we bounce a cruise, fuck them all like I count on you. Like Bojack and Dyer, whole snap and try it. Pepper pots in the eye, man. Times get strange and the people keep lying. The truth is the truth, any state I reside in. I am.
Make me fly. Watch me kiss the sky. Then you move on me. It is all it is with you by my side. There's no way I can lose. See me fly.
Ahora directamente desde West Hartford, Clockwise, el único, el más bravo, el duro, el que nunca nadie lo puede poner abajo porque él siempre tiene toda la lírica para todo el pueblo de West Hartford, para que lo sepan, papá.
And we are back. It's Friday night. It's 9 o'clock. It must be time for the IDP Lounge. Fellas,
Hey guys,
how's it going?
hi coach.
We are joined this week. We have Hollywood, as always, looking skulled out over here. We got Coach Dingus with us this week. He's not coaching any of his 5,000 hockey teams right now.
Actually, I just got back in, so it was a little cut and close there for me.
Yeah, and our guests this week, we have 2/3 of the IDP guys, Nate and Jonny.
Yeah, I know.
Jonny, we've seen a lot of you
Good to
this
see
week.
you guys again. Hollywood, how you feeling? You a little calmed down from the other night?
Sure.
Doesn't look like it.
Sure.
And we are also joined
might
by
be true as well.
the man. Shut up. Trying to introduce our other guest. Sorry, Alex. He's not normally this unprofessional. I don't know. Maybe he is. The leader behind the F Team Defense motto, Alex the FF Hustler 420. How's it going, man?
Doing good. Getting ready for another week of football. Hopefully it is a little bit better injury-wise than it was this past week.
Well, we already had an ACL this week. It was, Leon Jacobs. But hopefully Sunday is not Bloody Sunday again. What was the sequel to Sunday Bloody Sunday? Was that the Joshua Tree? Was that?
I think so.
Yeah. I think that was in the album before that. But anyway, had some good songs on it. So I don't know. Darrell, you listening to some U2 right now? Is that what we got going on?
U2. What?
I don't even think Hollywood's listening to you, let alone you too.
He probably is on like a 20-minute delay.
He's always on a delay. Come on.
Yeah, no.
Coach,
it's actually, I'm sorry, it's Redneck Titan today, not Hollywood.
Oh Jesus, Coach, I haven't talked to you since your Raiders won on Monday night. What do you got to say?
On to New England.
I hope so. I hope so.
That'd be great. I don't think it's happening, but yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Although I didn't think they were going to beat the Saints either, but Drew Brees decided he didn't know how to throw the ball 5 yards anymore. So, but I guess Michael Thomas is ruled out. We've had AJ Brown already ruled out. Julio Jones is questionable. We had all the guys out this week, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Rager too.
Rager's out. Yeah, we have. Let's see, who else? Kittle's determined out already. Who else? Drew Lock's gone for a few weeks. We got a laundry list of people to replace, and yet in some of these 32-team leagues, there's still nothing on the waiver wire, even with all these dudes going out. Kind of trying to scratch for people off the street, like you're trying to pick up guys that are free agents that might get a phone call.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. I watched a guy dropped $87 of $200 of his fab on Dion Lewis this week.
Wow, boy.
Yeah. Not great.
I don't get that.
I dropped 31 of 100 on Jeff Driscoll.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but
them old Driscolls.
Them old Driscolls.
Damn old Driscolls.
Driscoll's ass is worth at least 30.
Yeah,
he's worth at least 30.
Yeah, he's got a dump truck of a butt, huh? Jesus.
That's what I think.
I knew Jonny would appreciate that.
Oh, no doubt.
Driscoll's is what I have on Sunday mornings when I wake up.
Well, don't let your future sponsor Budweiser hear that. They won't be too happy with you.
Yeah, are you guys doing a Blue Chew segment tonight?
Well, if Blue Chew wants to sponsor the IDP Lounge, we will.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's always a fun time.
It's the one thing I'm good at.
I'm so jealous you guys got that sponsor. Do you guys know what that is? It's a chewable Viagra. Like, what is it, like gum?
I know what it is.
Yeah. No, that you guys know, but the other guys here.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So you chew it in your.
That's it,
dude.
Basically.
Dude, do I need to be like this?
Attaboy, boss man. Now you're cooking.
Hey, look at your name there, Coach.
Coach Jim Bob Dover.
I don't think I need any chewable Viagra.
Nice.
Yeah. So we do have some comments coming in here. I didn't even. I was focused on the Blue Chew, I guess, too much. Good evening from Detroit Beastie. Chris, what's going on? Dion Lewis, yeah. I just lost Saquon in our World War League, so I'm like, maybe I should just sell for next year because Without Saquon, I don't think I'm making it anywhere. It's going to be rough going, but
yeah.
Fortunately, I have Steve Slayton and not Sterling Shepard, or else it'd be two dudes.
Yeah.
Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say? Steve Slayton?
Yeah, Steve's the West Virginia running back.
Yeah. the 1 year wonder. Wow. Deep BT ads.
Wow.
It is. Pat White and Steve Slayton.
BT ads. Let's see. Is Geno Atkins playing? Because if he's not, there's some dude that played for them last week that got a couple tackles, I think. I mean, how deep we talking here? Because there's deep leagues where it's like, oh, just go pick up, Solomon Thomas, and then there's deep leagues where you're like, okay, the fifth string D tackle on the Eagles, that's the guy you want.
Yeah, he's rotating in for about 20 snaps a game.
Not even that. You just want 10 snaps and a chance for a tackle. It depends.
He'll get you 3 points and a possible fifth if you're lucky.
Do you get a point for a snap?
Oh,
I'm sure that's coming.
Javon Hargrave.
Yeah, Javon Hargrave's a good sleeper.
Yeah.
Depends on how deep. The guy I'm thinking of is actually not even on the R lads. He did play last week. I can't remember his name, but it's something weird. That's why it stuck in my head.
What team was it?
It was Cincinnati. He played a few snaps, got a tackle.
Oh, I have no idea.
Are we talking about Christian Covington coming back?
Nah, not him. He did have a decent game in relief of Atkins not playing. Mike Daniels wasn't playing either, so it was kind of like everybody was hurt. It was like a perfect storm of everybody being hurt.
Yeah, actually, that leads into something good. Coach, why is Malik Collins leading the Raiders in defensive tackle snaps instead of Hurst or Hankins?
Well, it's funny. I don't remember where I saw the PFF grading, but I believe he's defeated more double teams and faced more double teams through 2 weeks than any other defensive lineman, I think, in the National Football League right now. He's actually playing extremely well, which shouldn't really surprise anyone because he was solid when he was with, I believe, Dallas last year. So really shouldn't catch anyone off guard. But Hurst there last year, although he's a good wily vet, wasn't producing for us. He did what he had to do, but he's nothing special. He's a good solid player, nothing more. But like I said, I've seen this PFF grade about him facing the most double teams and defeating the most double teams amongst defensive linemen. So I can definitely see why he's getting those snaps because he's earned that right.
So here you go. This is why this name stuck out in my head. His name is Freedom Akinmoladun. He is an undrafted free agent from Nebraska 2 years ago. This is his second year in the league, and he had a tackle and an assist for Cincinnati. So you want your super deep 32 team D tackle depth. Freedom is what you want. It's like Braveheart.
Well, I'll go Tershawn Wharton, I believe, Kansas City's D tackle. I think he had a 3 or 4 tackle game last week as well. So if you want to go deep, if we're digging deep, Tershawn Wharton's the guy to be looking for too.
Tershawn, huh? Until Mike Pennell's no longer suspended, then he'll probably go back to whatever cave he went to. He came from.
So I got a question for you guys if you want to tackle something here. Interesting thing came up in one of my leagues where I'm commissioning. So we're looking at, no preseason and, with COVID and everything, it's been a weird year. What are you doing as commissioners for teams where they're not setting a lineup?
That's a good question.
Making house calls.
Yeah, I like that.
It depends on how well I know the person. If I know the person, then I text them and say, "What the hell are you doing? Set your goddamn lineup."
Well, I mean, we've had a few internal issues with some of our guys not setting lineups because, they have very busy lives all of a sudden. And had the what was it, the Corona 15? The extra 15 dynasty leagues that you put on back in March. Startups. But I mean, real talk. I'm looking at 2 pay leagues where people aren't starting lineups. We've got the IDP Invitational where we've had a couple people not start lineups. You're talking about a league where people didn't make it in.
Yeah.
Right.
And yet there's, people that are in that aren't taking advantage of being there and doing what they're supposed to do. Just set a lineup. You just do it once. And if you want to flake, you can flake. But do you feel that it is unfair as commissioner to set that lineup for them or have a computer set it up?
Oh, I don't.
And also, do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair to boot them without refund and replace them in a pay league?
So here I am. I'll go first. I'm a good Christian man, and I will publicly shame someone's ass if they're not going to be setting that lineup. You put it on Twitter, you blast them. I got no problem going Old Testament on someone here. Get them out there, shame. Get that gift out there. I don't care what you do.
You must be in a lot of leagues with Hollywood there.
Oh, man.
I see it all the time.
Hollywood's still drafting teams right now. Are you kidding me?
I am
But
not.
no,
drafting.
seriously,
No, I'm not.
I'm not above calling someone out on social media because let's face it, 90% of us that are in these leagues are on Twitter and whatnot. Take, for example, the IDP Invitational. I would say 99% of the people are on Twitter. If someone's not going to set their lineup, I got no problem someone calling them out. It might be something, might be nothing, right? Maybe they forgot, maybe life got busy, et cetera, et cetera. End of the day, certain ones like that, they are a charity league. I know it's kind of like, okay, you know what? There's always that competitive balance you want to maintain in your leagues. But you've also got, for something like the IDP Invitational, it is charity. Now, if we're talking paid leagues, man, I'm calling this guy out. It's a competitive advantage. I don't know if the commissioner knows better than the computer or who's going to set that lineup. And I know it's kind of, if Dan doesn't set his lineup against Hollywood and Hollywood gets a free win out of that, I'm going to be pissed off. But on the flip side, if Nate sets Dan's lineup for him and Dan gets the win, I'm going to be pissed off there too. So it's not going to matter. You're not going to win no matter how you look at it. Then again, I'm just going to be pissed off at anything because it doesn't take much to piss me off, especially if it involves Hollywood. I'm already pissed off.
So Jason,
So how many?
Jason, Damian, and Chris, set your goddamn lineups. Those are the 3 zeros from the IDP Invitational last week. I had to go look it up.
I actually hit Chris up, and he said he thought he forgot or something. So I did hit Chris up because I was like, "Hey, man, 2 weeks," and he's like, "Oh shit!" So
2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't set a first week lineup because I set my first week lineup in like August. So even if somebody's knocked out like the week before, like I at least have something in there for week 1 because I like to see what I have. I like to take stock of what my lineup's going to look like in August, and so I can make some deals if I need to.
As a commissioner, if you don't set your lineup, I'm losing my shit. Now, on the flip side, if you set your lineup and you miss an injury, I totally get. I got no problem the commissioner making a judgment call of swapping something around. Because for me, I'm in 42 leagues. It's probably 10 of them are best ball, so 32 leagues of which I'm setting my lineup every week. I'm going to miss a player. Now, for me, I know that I'm okay taking a 0 when it comes to that, because I know it's going to happen. But if a commissioner goes in and sets an injury or makes that substitution, I got no problem with it. So if you're flat out not setting your lineup, shame that guy. I don't care. Drop him, kick him, boot him. It don't matter to me. If it's charity league, then it's charity. But if you're talking about some like a $250 buy-in type league, he's on the way out.
$250 buy-in league, and you got that money to throw away because you didn't set a lineup, then that's a sucker. You're taking their money. That's all it is.
If you've got,
Sean is a good one here. Blacklist.
if you've got that kind of money to throw away, if you've got that money to throw away, just pay for the team, and I'll set your damn lineup.
There you go. Hollywood to do
Reach out to Hollywood,
Yeah, because basically you've already decided that you're okay with losing. So I'm okay with Hollywood setting that lineup.
So Sean said he plays Chris this week, so bring it.
This is where we're going, Coach.
Carl Joseph, Quentin Dunbar, and Bradley McDougald. Pick one. I'm guessing.
Bradley McDougald.
Mm.
What are you saying?
I'm going with Joseph.
Really?
Well, I mean,
someone tell me if the Jets have spent more than 20 minutes on offense in a game yet this year.
They're going to have the backups in by week 5, week 2.
The answer is no.
Hey, and I'll raise you one more there, Johnny. Someone tell me if the Indianapolis Colts have thrown the ball further than 5 yards down the field yet.
Yeah, probably not.
Here's one though. Who in the hell had the Jaguars upsetting the Colts in week 1? Do we really know what the Colts are? I mean, yeah, they beat Minnesota, but Minnesota looks pathetic too. So I mean,
yeah.
Are they going to have a good game plan against the Jets? I mean, I know I know on this show at least, and on any show I'm on, we are normally kicking the crap out of Adam Gase because he sucks. But from the defense,
would you all get off of Phillip Rivers, man? The dude goes home. Before he comes to the field, he's already dealing with 9 or 10 kids. You know what I mean? That weighs on you before you get to the field. Like, I know before I even leave for work, I am bagged. Like, before I even leave the house, I am bagged. Can you imagine Phillip Rivers? He's in the same boat I am.
Let's do this podcast style. Everyone say who you got and why. Alex, who you got? Joseph, Dunbar, McDougall, and why?
McDougall, I mean, you got to take the guy on the Jets because they're going to be on the field a lot. I mean, especially now all these injuries that are official now. Perriman's not there. Crowder's not there. I mean, Bell's not there. How much are the Jets actually going to be on the field on offense?
Beautiful. Who didn't go up top? Hollywood, who you got?
He's frozen.
He probably is.
The same thing for me.
I agree with that. That's a very good point you're making there.
Coach, who you taking?
You know what? I'm pretty sure Hollywood's probably leaning towards Hollywood. I'm pretty sure he's probably leading McDougall. We know Joseph is going down. I'm going to go with Quentin Dunbar just to be something different here. I think he's going to produce, especially if you're talking leagues in which your tackling is scoring is a little bit different and favorable. I think Dunbar is definitely a play there. So depending on the scoring of the system. Now, honestly, I'm just taking Dunbar to be different from everyone else. I'd probably go McDougald as well.
Right. In CB Premium, if you need a home run, Dunbar's the play, definitely. But McDougald will get to his projection and past it this week. Guaranteed, basically.
Unless the legend of Marcus May comes
right.
McDougald only the week 1 only had a decent week because he had a fumble recovery. I mean, last week he had 4 tackles and an assist. I think Carl Joseph had similar numbers. Honestly, Dunbar might be the play because I think this Dallas-Seattle game is going to be a shootout because neither secondary looks any good.
Right.
So, I mean, Seattle's let up 400 and 400, I think, back-to-back weeks. So somebody tried to trade for Dak this week. I'm like, not this week.
Yeah, Seahawks pass defense 32nd in the league. Cowboys 23rd. It's going to be a ridiculous shootout. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. And like I said, Seattle's lucky to be 2-0. You know, they had a poor play call. There's Redneck Titan. He's back.
Hey, there he is.
I've been waiting.
Hollywood.
Well, you know, when your crappy internet craps out, you know. So yeah, Chris, we already got Dunbar, Sean says, and you know, Dunbar might be the play. I mean, he'll be going up against, I don't know, whoever's on that side because Seattle pretty much will play Griffin on one side and Dunbar on the other. I think Griffin and Dunbar are about equal as far as it's in their eyes as far as cover guys. So I don't think they're really going to shift them around to follow anybody. And they have 3 weapons to guard, so really it's hard to figure out.
Yeah, that's my favorite corner streaming matchup this week, but probably by far. Yeah.
Hey, where can you find these corner streaming matchups?
Oh, at idpguys.org, of course.
Way to tee that up there, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
You're sitting in the catbird seat over there, so that's what you got to do. You got to throw some softballs to the guests. Kevin Pierre Lewis, real or fake? My first answer is fake. Take what you can get out of him the next couple weeks until he either gets hurt or next year he's replaced, because he's probably very replaceable.
The Stashmanian Devil. That is a great name.
That is Daniel, if not mistaken, from our listener league for the IDP. So he's the Stashmanian Devil, and he actually drafted Gardner Minshew, although he's probably not too happy with his performance.
Oh man, that's brutal. Yeah.
So
I hate that for him.
When we're talking Pierre Lewis here, we're talking about a guy who went from 3 tackles to 10 tackles. If you're looking for a home run play,
3 tackles.
Yeah, you could very easily go back to 3 or 2. Until I can see some consistency from him, I'm going to say he's definitely fake for me. Until I can see that consistency come out.
Yeah, I'd rather have Joe Thomas or Micah Kaiser.
Oh, I love me some Micah.
What do you guys think, Alex?
I think he's a good start this week, but yeah, I mean, long term, I got to lean on the fake side. Got to see it a little bit longer before I think he's the real deal, Holyfield.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's 28 years old already too, so
yeah, this
is more than just being a late bloomer. If that's the case. Oh, don't toy with me, Sean. Don't toy with me right now.
No. Alex has a good point too. There should be a run-heavy game script this week, so that might work to his advantage.
Is this what you're referring to, Joe Thomas or Corey Littleton?
Oh,
I'm taking Joe Thomas, man.
I'm taking Joe Thomas too. Yeah,
right. Give me the guy that actually produces.
That's the thing right now. But I will say, Corey Littleton is on a defense that's 2-0 right now, so there's that going for him right now.
No matter for IDP, what your record is.
I love.
We're recommending Jets, and they could be the worst team. They could go 0-16.
True.
They probably will.
Yeah.
The funny thing.
Come join us.
Yeah. The funny thing is, on Tuesday night we were beating Corey Littleton up a little bit too. So.
Yeah.
It's fun to do that.
Yeah, Nicholas Morrow is the star over there until Kwiatkowski gets back, right?
Yes, that's right. Nicholas Morrow wearing the green dot. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, how can you allow your team to do that, Coach?
Hey, whatever gets them to 3-0. Whatever gets them to 3-0.
Coach, what I do like is them letting Eric Harris be the other safety. I think he proved himself last year.
I would agree with that there. And the fun thing is, the only thing I want to see more of on that defense is I want to see, and Hollywood's got my back on this one, I want to see them unleash Amek Robertson here at some point, whether that's in the slot or move him to the safety position. But right now, I'm actually really surprised Gruden has gone with as many rookies as he has. Gruden's really a veteran-type guy. So usually on offense, it's going to be a veteran-laden plan that he comes out with. But there's a lot of young players playing pivotal roles for the Raiders right now, both offensively and defensively.
Does he have a choice on offense, though? Like,
not
really. Everybody's on IR,
I like Amek Robertson. I'm surprised that they're rolling with Arnett like they are, because he's been burnt early.
I bet.
I don't mind what they got at corner.
What's keeping him on the field, really, I think.
I have Amek Robertson more of that slot corner, that safety position there. That's basically what Joyner's playing right now. That's where I've got Robertson kind of pegged in. Robertson. Okay, so we talk about Jervis Sneed there out of Kansas City. For Louisiana Tech, he was a safety. Amek Robertson was the corner. And when we go to the National Football League, Sneed's kind of moved to the corner. I think Robertson's probably best fitted to play the safety position, or at the very least that nickel corner where Joyner is right now. So, yeah, I like what you said with Eric Harris. He earned his role last year. He played big for them last year. So I'm glad he's starting opposite there. But that joiner position, Joiner's going to be careful because I think Amick Robertson's going to take that at some point this year.
I've liked Joyner a lot so far because he's getting that more consistent production with that role, and you still start him as a corner in cornerback premium. He's been really, really good first couple weeks.
Yep. And by the way, Chase Young and T.J. Watt are tied for the league lead in sacks with 2.5 apiece. So after 2 weeks,
is this the race for? Is this for the race for Edge 1?
That would be for Edge 1. Yes. T.J. Watt also gets the Houston Texans offensive line this week.
Oh, I know.
See,
Oy.
I love Coach 1 minute, and then he does shit like that, and I can't stand it.
I got. It's all part of the circle of life, man. I got to keep a balance.
Well, I don't like this balance. I either love you or I hate you, and you're keeping me right on the fence. This is bullshit.
I got one for you guys. We did this on Tuesday. Who do you want, Jonathan Abram or Antoine Winfield?
Yep. Winfield all day.
Abram.
Really, Coach?
No way.
Coach, talk to us.
Absolutely.
Because we all
I
said
took Abram
Winfield.
just to be the
Contrarian.
dissenting
Contrarian.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
if everybody agrees all the time, it's not entertaining.
That's true. That's true.
No, exactly. And as soon as you said Winfield's name, I could see the big chub going on in Hollywood's pants there. He got really excited.
Alex,
Whoa, what are you doing looking at my pants, man? What the hell is my camera? Where's my camera?
I like both of them. I mean, Abram finally seeing what he can do, but Winfield, I mean, only a second game in the NFL. Like, that kid is special.
Yeah, He's got the genetics. He's got the genetics.
He's going to be better than his dad was. Way better than what his dad was.
Way better.
Oh, yeah, way better.
Is there that much room for way better? I mean, Winfield was a very good DB for years. Years.
He was. I agree. But I'm telling you, Junior's going to be Junior's the shit.
I think Antoine Winfield Sr. could probably lace him up for the Vikings today and be better than what they got right now.
Okay, first off, you guys are talking like, ooh, Winfield's only playing his second game. He's amazing. Jonathan Abrams basically in his second or third game, too. He missed all of last season as well. He's basically a rookie out there doing the same shit.
That's why I put them together.
The difference is Winfield's making plays on the field and Abrams over there trying to tackle the TV cart.
Ooh, shots fired.
Abram will hit anything that's moving, whether it's breathing or not. If it's moving, you got a battery operated, he's going for it.
That could work to his disadvantage if he starts trying to tackle TV carts too much.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got fragile shoulder to begin with, so
Coach said battery operated. If we only had Bluetooth right here.
Maker right there. That there might be the difference maker. You talk about health and longevity, and right now Winfield's doing a better job protecting himself going into contact. Abram goes in there reckless abandon. And that's going to be his downfall. If Abrams going to not be successful in the National Football League, it's not going to be because of talent. It's going to be because he is reckless with his body, which I actually love. So I love that.
The other day, I kind of dubbed him the new age Bob Sanders because he launches himself into players, and that's the kind of stuff that shortens careers. So hopefully he learns to control that a little bit more and be more like maybe Dawkins with that controlled rage than Bob Sanders, who was, a flash in the pan because of his injuries.
So speaking of reckless abandon and second games and all that stuff, we were making predictions before the season started of how long the season would last this year. We've now gone through 2 weeks. Where are you landing? Because
I'm landing on it's going to end after 6 because every player is going to be on IR.
Nothing to do with Corona. Just IR.
Everybody
the preseason
is going to just lose 10 players. So
it's brutal. No, it looks good. And Hard Knocks showed us that they're taking this extremely friggin' seriously. Extremely seriously. And they're doing a good job with it. I think we're going to get the whole season. Who actually
so
plays all of it? Who knows?
So Pinocchio rating of this 0 positive tests.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure there's something, but it's not. There's no outbreaks. There's no clusters.
I'm just saying the fact that there's 2 weeks of 0 positive tests, and these guys like go home every night. It's not like the NBA where they're in a bubble. Like they go home to their families. They come to work. They're back and forth.
There's a lot of money here.
Right.
This is why we go back to earlier this year when I thought none of this would ever happen, because I said there's too much money to lose to have all of this craziness actually happen. It's
too much.
The country will allow millions of people to die before they shut down. And I think we're seeing that more so in the NFL, as there's nothing that's going to stand in the way of football continuing, and they're going to squash those numbers. Who knows what it really is?
Well, in the state of Florida,
they're not going to pass up all that money either.
In the state of Florida, they're going to be at 100% capacity pretty soon, because apparently the governor said coronavirus is going away. So
I saw that, but you made it.
Yeah.
But Dan,
you don't have to wear a mask. You can open up to 100%. Like they're just like, whatever. Everybody's going to die.
Right, but Dan, you made a good point though. These are professionals, not college kids. They are going to and from practice and games, but they're going home and they're sitting with their families. They're not going out and tagging sorority chicks. They're not going to parties and keg parties.
I mean, the Florida Marlins are supposed to be a professional baseball team, and they stop at a strip club on the way to Philly. So, I mean,
you only get 16 game checks in the NFL, though.
Right.
One of those.
Hey, you've got to stop wherever the wings are the best. Wherever they make good wings, you got to stop. You can't pass up good chicken wings.
Oh, that was the basketball player that had to sit out for a few games. They went because of the wings. Yes. Corona defeated by the combination of Fitzmagic and Minshew. So the combination of Fitzpatrick's beard and Minshew's mustache have staved off coronavirus.
You know what? Minshew is not the mustache anymore. Minshew should not have that nickname. Up there in the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner, whatever you're seeing there, that's the mustache and the beard all in one.
What do you think about Minshew's comments? How he needed to double down on being a mustache guy because it's just his accessory, versus beard guys just have something to hide.
My answer to that is scoreboard.
Oh yeah, you
the
can't
best
let my
comeback
hair be-
ever. The best and only comeback. Scoreboard.
So
This is the
here's
trash
the bottom
talk.
line.
This is peak trash talk. When we're going beard versus mustache, it does not get better.
Slow
Here's the bottom line. If you grow the beard, like say Fitzpatrick did, he's not only got the beard, but he's got the stash going too. That's the win. All Minshew's got is this. Like he said, guys who grow a mustache just got patchy beards. That's all it is, right?
And I mean, Fitzpatrick's not.
Win.
Fitzpatrick doesn't just hide behind the beard, though. He also has the clothing to go along with it. You know, he came out in Deshaun Jackson's outfit a couple years ago. This what he wore last night, apparently, I think somebody said, "Hide your stepmoms," because he's coming.
Well, so I don't.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
So he's basically he comes out like this Hawaii 5-0 shirt. And he's just like bush haired out of it all over. You can't tell where his chest hair ends and where his beard begins.
He's 37-year-old, graduated from Harvard, and still gets to play in the NFL and keeps schooling these young kids over and over again.
He literally said on the air, he goes, "It's getting late." He says, "I hope my wife will put the kids to bed 'cause it's getting late." And then that was the end of the interview right there.
Fitzpatrick is what I aspire to be when I'm 30. Oh, wait, I've already hit 37.
What about the probably two best personalities, though, in the league?
I mean,
when you get, talking about quarterbacks, who really has more suave?
Jimmy G does. Jimmy G does.
He's got a good headshot. He's got a good headshot. He doesn't have a personality.
He's tagging porn stars.
He's got beauty, not brains.
He is marriage material. He would make a great husband. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
You just want to be Big Spoon to Jimmy G, that's all.
But how about
Patrick Big Spoons you? That's how that rolls.
I'm okay with that.
Johnny and his GQ love right here. Wow, I'm totally in awe right here.
People clowned him for the video, but how about Mr. Unlimited? He's corny as hell, but he can throw a deep ball prettier than anybody in the league. So
yeah,
he can burn the defensive player of the year with the prettiest deep ball ever.
Right. What did you see, Dan? You saw the Cable Thanos video today, right?
The clip that
let Russ cook 2-minute video.
You know what? I don't think I did. I was not on Twitter most of the day. Besides, the only thing I did on Twitter today was tell everybody that if it's not black coffee, it's just creamer. You're just drinking straight creamer.
Oh,
so.
I saw that. Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, that was
none of it.
That was
no creamer
right there.
No creamer, no sugar, just straight coffee. Come on.
I like my coffee dark like Marshall.
Oh.
So you say dark like your stool?
That's what I heard.
See,
Kyle knows. Look at that.
Kyle said he'd start a new life for Jimmy G.
That is right.
Kyle.
Kyle's gonna leave his family for Jimmy G.
No question. No question.
Okay, I gotta reevaluate my friendship with Kyle now.
But if you're looking for like a long-term relationship, why wouldn't you go with Derek Carr? Because he's probably the most safe quarterback in the whole National Football League.
He's got a lifetime supply of mascara. Come on.
5-yard passes.
Burn.
I'm trying to think of a quarter. We're going back to the quarterback with the most moxie here, or the most personality.
The most moxie. Ugh.
I'm sorry, it's still General Fitzpatrick, man. He's on the Twitter. He's got that little thing going on. He's got that.
You know what? And
he's on the Twitter.
There is somebody. There is somebody. I'm not a fan of him, but he's got the outfits. He's got moxie. Cam, yeah. I'm not a fan of his shtick. Like I am.
See,
I'm a fan of Fitzpatrick's shtick. I'm not a fan of Cam's shtick. I don't know.
I can't deal with Cam's hats. These damn hats that he wears. That shit pisses me the fuck off. I just can't.
He's really angry about it.
It's just a hat. Jesus.
Here's the thing. You know why I love Fitzpatrick? Because he makes me think I could play in the National Football League. You know what I mean? He's got there's something about it. He looks like he's a man's man. You know what I mean? He's like a guy
you need more hair on top of your head.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a Fitzmagic.
Aaron Rodgers. I think people just love to hate on Aaron Rodgers because he seems like an irritable douche all the time.
Aaron Rodgers' family loves to hate on Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is. He doesn't seem like he is a freaking douche.
I've never met him personally. Maybe if you meet him, he's a nice guy. I don't know.
He can come to my house with a
We saw him drink that beer or lack thereof. I can't trust a guy who pounds a beer like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fake as hell.
Hey, you know who would be if you're gonna like any quarterback, at least Matthew Stafford, you'd never have to give him a ring.
That is true. Very true.
That is true.
Very true.
He knows how to pound a beer too.
He does. Hey, that's major points. If you can pound a beer like that, that's big points.
That's fine. Aaron Rodgers is a great guy when he's sleeping. Who's the least charismatic starting quarterback? Mitchell Trubisky. There's the answer right there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a few of them.
You mean 2-0 Trubisky?
A few, yeah. There's.
Yeah.
Hey, I have him in a couple leagues out of desperation. So,
Least
I don't know.
charismatic.
I mean-
it used to be Eli. It used to be.
Yeah,
Used to be Eli.
starting quarterback.
And don't you think Drew Brees is right there? Because he doesn't get too carried away. I mean, he's not.
I like Drew Brees. Like he's.
I mean, I
steady.
like him, but he's not.
that guy.
Yeah.
He's family, man. He's not really.
When you have a problem.
Haskins.
I don't know.
I don't think Haskins has gotten enough publicity to know either way because it seems like they just hide him in the room. They don't let him ever
I think
come out.
Haskins could be really cocky if he got good.
Gotta have a breakout game first, then we'll see.
So we have a real question, an IDP question. Besides, we can play. What is that called when you least and mosts the? They do those in the late night shows.
Wait, no, I've got the answer though for who is the least charismatic starting quarterback. It is Kirk Cousins.
Well,
you like that?
Oh, that is great.
I mean, he is the Ned Flanders of the NFL.
I'll tell you.
You like that?
The LA,
Well, here's one
the
who
LA
can compete with him. Rivers. The man
No.
who will never say a curse word.
Hold on.
Yeah, but have you ever heard Philip Rivers trash talk? It is some of the best audio you'll ever hear. It is fantastic. But you know who the LA Chargers think is the least charismatic quarterback in the National Football League? Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I got to defend Philip Rivers here. He's got like 20 kids. He's got charisma oozing.
No doubt.
Oh, he's got all kinds of things oozing. That's how he got 20 kids.
Yeah.
You would know.
Would you? So an actual IDP question here. Would you trade Jamal Adams for Garrett straight up in Dynasty? That depends a whole lot on depth at your positions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have no defensive ends, then yeah, you go get Garrett because you could probably replace a safety better than you could replace an end.
Right.
But if you're equal, all things being equal, would you? Let's say you're good at both spots, would you?
Absolutely.
I think I would.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jamal Adams is pummeling Myles Garrett in points so far this year. So
it's two different positions though. It's two different positions.
Easy, Dan. Let's not upset the boss man. He is here. Don't upset him.
I gotta say that I haven't seen much football in a week, so
there's facts and there's.
I don't even, where are we at in the Daniil Hunter versus Myles Garrett stack up?
Oh, Garrett blew up last week. He went crazy.
Garrett has a sack at least.
I think.
And where's Daniil Hunter?
On
Still
IR.
on IR.
Ooh.
Okay. You're ahead by one through 2 weeks. I'm still game for this.
More interesting.
I got you.
So that question came from Dynamic Basti, Chris on Twitter, if you guys are wondering.
Yeah, okay. It came from the Vipers account, so I figured it was just Dingus throwing something out there.
No, I'm checking the Twitter. It was addressed to everyone.
Let's go roundtable. Coach, what would you do?
Well, it's easy for me, like you guys, if I'm going straight up without much knowledge on how the point system's going, I'm probably leaning towards Garrett here because it's harder to replace that edge than it is a safety. Yeah. Now, we can't – what Adams is doing is unbelievable. He's definitely outplaying Garrett, let alone any other position in the National Football League there. I think he's probably one of the top probably 5 scorers in all of football right now as far as fantasy goes. So I'd still probably lean Garrett because I like that edge rusher ability and how they stack up for points.
Nice. Yeah, Alex, what do you think?
So if we're talking about, position scarcity, it's got to be Garrett. But I like the way that Adams is looking. I mean, if we're just talking right now, I mean, I'm going the way that Adams is looking, being in Seattle. I mean, he's bringing back the Legion of Boom, at least, one player at a time, I guess. But
Dumper ain't bad either.
No, I like it. I hear you.
Dumper ain't bad either. I mean,
yeah. But it is so much easier to get a safety that's close to Jamal Adams than it is to get a defensive end off waivers that's close to Myles Garrett,
Yeah. Although I must say, Quandre Diggs is trying to audition for the Legion of Boom. Although he needs to not lead with his helmet next time.
Yeah. Nate, would you do that? Would you do that trade?
I gotta say that this year I'm not moving into my Myles Garrett shares, mainly because I have so few, and the ones that I do have, I gotta represent my bet with Hollywood and go down with the ship if it doesn't turn out. But I don't know. This ship is sailing.
It really depends with me. It depends on if I don't have any safeties, I'm probably hanging on to Adams. Because I normally have one position or the other. I normally don't have both. If I had both,
Right.
then sure, I'll switch to get the end because the end is probably going to be more valuable.
Position scarcity is what gets it for Garrett.
Yeah, and I think they're both similarly aged. I don't think there's a big difference in age. So I mean, you're talking about defensive end. Defensive ends can play forever. It seems like they get hurt too. But I mean, obviously Nick Bosa got hurt. But we have another couple questions rolling in here. We got before week 1, Schobert, Thompson, Kirksey, and Kendricks. Is it now reversed for week 3? I mean, Schobert already played last night, so it's kind of unfair to have him in there. We already kind of know.
Oh, man. Will Shaq Thompson please do something?
He should be. I think. I don't know.
He was okay week 1. He was not in a great, I didn't think that was the greatest matchup last week. I watched that game. The Bucks offense was actual dog shit. It really was. They got owned in time of possession by Carolina.
Yeah. And that's how CMC got hurt, it seems like. Too many carries. Too many rushes running into
We're talking about a player right now who's got 6 tackles and 8 assist tackles through 2 games. That's not what I would have expected from Shaq Thompson at the start of the season. I had Shaq Thompson flirting with top 10 potential in the linebacker position coming into this year. It ain't working for me.
You know what, though? If you look at the Colts got up big and they shoved the ball down their throat.
Who?
The Colts. Eric Kendricks is who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Kendricks. Okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to say Eric Kendricks should be above these guys. So is that going to happen every week? I mean, this week it very well may because they're playing the Titans. And the Titans, Tannehill is going to throw 4 touchdowns in the first half, and then they're going to pound Jeremy McNichols in the second half.
Right. Until the clock's out. No, I hear you. And in a big thing that I'm seeing,
Hollywood's gone.
Yeah, but every year we see this on IDP Twitter. People dropping Max Crosby and shit canning Corey Littleton and giving up on Shaq. It's been 2 games. It's been 2 games. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, I don't think Kendricks is a bad play. I mean, if you have all 4 of these guys, most of the time you're going to start 4, and I'd start all of them.
Yeah.
If you've got all 4 of these guys, you're hurting on offense.
You probably are, but I mean, Kirksey you could have gotten late. I think. I mean, it depends on how your roster is constructed. I mean, you could have picked up Kirksey off of waivers last year when you never dropped him. But I mean, you could have this team. You could have all 4 of these guys. I mean, if you. I don't know. At this point of the season, I'm not worried about rankings. I'm worried about who's the best players on my team that I'm starting. So, I mean, if I had to pick out of that.
It's all matchup based anyways.
I would have went with Schobert and probably Kendrick since he's on a hot start. And then, like I said, the Titans are probably going to pound the ball. I mean, I was joking about Tannehill. I was trying to rile up Hollywood, but he's not even here to rile up.
No,
so.
but we talked about that Tuesday. That very well could happen. That secondary, besides Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris, is hot dog shit. Like, there's no one there. Yeah.
Nobody there. I mean, Harrison Smith can't do it all. So, I mean, Kendricks, with Anthony Barr not there anymore. I mean, Todd Davis, I'm not really too concerned about him. Troy Dye's a little. I mean, a lot of those guys are banged up. They don't have Danielle Hunter for another week at least. They're just banged up and hurt. I mean, the Vikings could just say, let's bag it at this point. No team really does that. But I mean, at some point, they're probably just going to be like, let's just start some young dudes and go. We also had a question, I guess, a Twitter question here. Pick one. Jordan Fuller, Keanu Neal, Sneed, Jadarius Sneed, Xavier Woods, or Brian Poole. So I don't have that. Let me see if I can copy.
Who was Neal was the second one?
I'm a stubborn son of a bitch when it comes all down to it. I've been a Keanu Neal truther from the get-go. I'll probably ride that ship all the way till it's sunk. He'll probably make me a fool again, but I'm sticking with Keanu Neal just because I got to stick with what I believe. Yeah. He's been making me look silly the last couple of years, but injuries have really slowed him down.
He's still not playing. He's not playing his old role, and he's not playing 100% of snaps. He's stuck at like 83, which is not great.
You got to remember he's been out for basically 2 full years.
Right. They're probably just.
It's going to take. Yeah, he's got to get the rust off. He's going to take a little time. I still have him on a lot of places. Still like him, but I think you got to kind of pump the brakes with him until he can get his feet back and under him and get his game back up to level because he's been out so long. I like Snead because he's a rookie. They keep testing him. They're going to throw at him, and he has been lights out the first 2 weeks.
There's one answer here. It's the guy we thought was going to be there, but he's not. It's Jordan Fuller because, I mean, he's doing what we thought Taylor Rapp would do.
Right.
I think he's had pretty.
I'm not sold on Fuller just yet, though.
Well, Fuller has had 5 and 3 and 5 and 4. I mean, he's not making huge plays, but 5 tackles and a few assists a game. Yeah. I mean, that's more than any of those other guys are getting. Snead has been helped out by those 2 turnovers. He's not going to get an interception every game.
Right, and Fuller is another Najee good scenario. We're going to get the rug pulled out from under us for Taylor Rapp at some point. We just don't know when it is. But for now, go with Fuller.
You go with Fuller. Here, coming back to the earlier chat here, worried about Danny Trevathan the rest of the season.
Oh, I actually am.
I am too. Yeah, I am too. I'm with you.
Did you guys see his snaps this week?
But I don't like it. No, what was it?
1-1 as far as points.
50, 52, 53%. Something like that.
Wow.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's why I'm kind of anxious when it comes to this stuff. You see, he hit that certain age where I like to get rid of players, 30. So, yeah, being 30 years old is when I start to fade guys. No matter how good they are, they start to fade too. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I mean, it doesn't look like anybody else is producing much ahead of him.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm looking right now to confirm that.
Wow, 50. What'd you say? 53%? Wow, that's low.
No, 48%.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
48%. And Barkevius Mingo is taking some of the other time there.
That is
if you're
crazy.
losing snaps to Barkevius Mingo, you're screwed.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yes, you are rude.
Barkevius Mingo can't even stay on a roster more than a couple weeks. And
I know. That's not great.
That is not good. And the fact that you're below 50 is superly not good if you're below 50. That's wow.
Ben's got another one here. Pick one to start. Matthew versus Baltimore. Peppers versus the Niners. Willis versus – doesn't Willis play for Indy?
He does.
Yeah. So Willis versus the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't see Baltimore or San Francisco throwing much at all. I don't think that necessarily matters. I think the Honey Badger plays all over the place. So I think he'll get tackles and run coverage. So
My question would be, do you get points for returns? If you do, you're going Peppers.
Right. Is Peppers returning? I haven't even looked.
Yes.
I
He was
think he's doing the punt returns, yeah. Yeah, I've
He's doing
not
punt
checked.
returns, not kick returns.
Yeah, punt
Nice.
returns, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I ain't touching Peppers with a stolen dick in this matchup, guys. I don't think there's a whole lot going on.
Concerned about Peppers. Yeah,
We're talking right now.
Honey Badger. He don't care.
I'm going Matthew. I'm going Tyrone Matthew. Give me the Honey Badger here. Peppers has got like 8 combined tackles so far this season, 3 solo. And that ain't cutting it for me. And Willis, who cares about Willis?
Yeah,
You'll be okay?
Badger. Honey Badger. Alex, who you got?
I hate to agree with everyone, but it's got to be the Honey Badger. I mean, he's a playmaker who hasn't gotten an interception, hasn't gotten a sack or anything like that yet. So, big game like that's coming. Might not get a sack against Lamar, but, I mean, something big is coming.
If the Honey Badger doesn't outscore these guys, I'll wear some eye black in the Honey Badger fashion next week.
There you go. There you go.
Damn you, coach. That's not right.
The best part is Nate missed it. He's going to have to watch the show back to catch that line.
Oh, that
What
was
did I
freaking
miss?
great. Oh, it was great.
Didn't Alden Smith too long to knock the rust off? He didn't do anything the other day, did he?
No, yeah, came back to earth this week.
Well, I mean, that's the life of a defensive end, guys.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
One week they'll be to the moon. The next week they'll be getting you goose eggs. I mean, that's
Nature
why
of the position. Yes.
Yeah, and you got to take your lumps. That's why I'm not in favor of rotating guys through, because I feel like if you rotate through your defensive ends too much, then you will end up with 0 sacks. Because if you just play your steady guys, you'll get your sacks. They'll just come, inconsistently. That's why you try to get the best guys.
Well, you don't see very many guys getting 16 sacks a year, right? You just don't see it. The 16 weeks in the season, you're not going to get many guys with 16-plus sacks. So, yeah, there's going to be weeks where they give you those goose eggs, like you said. And knowing me, more often than not, you're chasing those points. So, all of a sudden, Joe Blow, Adrian Claiborne, he goes out there, puts up a couple sacks. You go grab him off the waivers. You put him in your lineup. He ain't going to do shit for you the next week, right?
The rest of the season,
that's what happens.
He only has one good game a year. I put this up here just because it's always fun to laugh out loud at the Jets, because Kyle's stealing that line. J.J. Watt's going to have a bounce back year. I think he'll get double digits. He's already got 2, I think. He had 2 in one game, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he can definitely get double digits. It's about health with him. It's never about skill.
Right.
So, yeah, Nate, go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to sign off here real quick because I'm going to go spend some time with family. I just wanted to express my thanks to everyone in the Twitter community. I lost my grandmother this past week and my uncle the week before, so it's been tough on me, and I pretty much took like a full week off, like no fantasy. I mean, I pretty much run this business the day-to-day, and I've been able to rely on a lot of the guys in this, video chat, as well as guys behind the scenes that have kept everything running, while I was able to just step away completely and go plan a funeral and lay my grandmother to rest. So I just wanted to say how thankful I am for all of you guys and what you do to keep everything going, as well as the fantasy community out there that reached out and expressed their condolences to me and everything. It's just been really great, and I'm slowly getting back into my routine. I flew out on a whim, or not a whim, but on a moment's notice to be with my family and everything. And so I've been away, and now that the funeral's over, all the plans have gone through and been finalized and finished up. I'm starting to make my way back into the fantasy community, doing my day-to-day work and my day-to-day job stuff. But it meant a lot for me to come on here, even for the hour that I've done it. I don't get a lot of time with family, so I carved out some here. so that I can, just express my gratitude from everyone that has reached out to me over the past week.
Yeah, man. We got you. As
Awesome.
Darrell says, we got you, boss man.
That's right, boss.
Yeah.
We got your back, bro.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Take it easy, Nate.
All right. Thanks,
Later,
everyone.
boss man.
All righty. So we're about an hour down. We got another hour to go. Dingus has to get out of here in a little while. So keep bringing some of those questions. I'm sure some people are going to overreact. I think what's your biggest overreact theater that you're going to see this week? What's something somebody's going to do that's so stupid, like starting Gardner Minshew instead of Patrick Mahomes?
I actually got asked that by multiple people. Should they start Minshew over Mahomes?
I think you might be in some of those Yahoo groups, or not Yahoo, Facebook groups that were debating that. And I just was laughing. I said, really? Like, you're actually considering benching Patrick freaking Mahomes, who's, the best passer out of Lamar Jackson. I mean, you can debate Lamar or Patrick Mahomes, but he's the best passer in the league, going up against a team that he hit for 3 touchdowns and 315 yards last time he faced them. They've gotten a little better, but they've got a little better at run defense, not necessarily pass defense. I mean, that's just, that's overreaction theater. That's somebody saying, I trust Gardner Minshew over Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's just
that's not overreacting. That's just dumb.
My question is, on the defensive side of the ball, what's something stupid that somebody's going to do this week because of overreaction theater?
I got some for you. I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing dropped Max Crosby's and dropped Shaq Thompson's, and people that can't deal with a 3-week Tremaine Edmonds injury. It is what it is. It's going to work itself out. These guys are going to be fine. I had a dude tweet me after week 1 when Zach Cunningham had 8 combined tackles saying Zach Cunningham sucks. Well, guess what? eight combined tackles over 16 games is 128 combined tackles. That's a linebacker one. Yeah, that's a linebacker one. And a linebacker one does not suck. So,
Zach Cunningham made me wear a Titans jersey because of that performance.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So
I don't know. There's a lot of ones you said make sense because people overreact. They drop. They panic drop. How many people picked up Kevin Pierre-Louis and probably dropped like Max Crosby because said he ain't done anything for me?
And if you're going to drop somebody, you keep Crosby, you're dropping Farrell right now. That's the guy you need to be dropping because he's done nothing.
He hasn't proved anything. I mean, Max Crosby's at least done it for a season.
Right.
And I kind of like to give players 2 years of production before I so-called crown them, say, okay, this guy's solid. And like Joe Schobert, I wanted to see a second year of production from Joe Schobert before I thought he was for real because he came out of nowhere. Speaking of, is Micah Kaiser the biggest surprise this season?
I don't think he's a surprise.
I don't think it was a surprise only because everybody wanted to know who was coming out of Rams camp, the starter, because we knew it was going to be a prime position because even the talents of Corey Littleton could just, kill in that defense.
Yep. Just like the Jets safety position is a prime position as well.
A money position, yeah. I mean, that's where scheme and understanding scheme matters in IDP. It matters, I think, more. I mean, it matters just as much as offense. I mean, if you think about the money and the time you invest in researching your offense, you want to know that the pass catching tight ends are. You want to know who the slot receiver is in a 3-wide, where they're going to run that personnel all the time. You want to know that sort of stuff. You got to know the same thing about the defensive side of the ball because, guys, middle linebackers are normally money. It looks like the Rams' prime spot there. It's a little slightly different defense, but they're kind of running the same stuff, it looks like, for the most part.
So I'm going to jump in here on you.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm that guy who does stupid shit all the time. I actually benched Deshaun Watson for Ryan Fitzpatrick this week, so kudos to me.
Might have turned out good for you.
Hey, looks
Same league,
good.
same league. I benched Terry McLaren for James Robinson. Turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about these overreactions. I picked up last week after week 1's performance. Rashawn Evans is a guy that I picked up after week 1. People dropping guys that aren't producing.
Somebody.
Yeah, I was like, well, whatever. I'm like, Rashawn Evans, the guy got ejected for throwing a punch. That's why his numbers are down that week. You know what I mean?
Right.
People look. But right now, early in the show, we're talking about a guy. I think we're jumping the gun on too early right now. Danny Trevathan. Yes, you're talking about 48% of the snaps. We're talking about week 2. We're talking about a Bears team that's actually ahead in games, making teams pass the ball more. Pass coverage has never really been his strength. I'm
Week
willing to
1,
give
they weren't
Danny
ahead.
Trevathan.
But he did okay week 1.
They weren't ahead. I mean,
His numbers weren't that bad in week 1, though.
Yeah,
His
yeah, he
numbers
was
weren't
okay.
bad.
He played enough week 1. He played enough.
You know what? I would be with you on that, Coach, but with Jonny telling me that he played 48% of the snaps, 48. That's less than half. That's not good for a starting linebacker. That's a big red flag for me. I mean, I like Trevathan, but you got to play more than 48. You got to be in for you to be a valuable option. I think you got to be 60+%.
Well, Shaq Thompson's playing an unreasonable amount of time right now, and he's doing shit too. So I don't know what you want to go here.
But see, that's different. He's getting the opportunities.
Yeah, but opportunity doesn't mean shit if you got no production to go with it.
I know, but Trevathan isn't even getting the opportunities. You can't do nothing if you're not getting the chances.
Shaq Thompson's getting as many tackles right now as the offensive guard.
I understand. Yeah. He's shitting the bed too. I get that. I'm with you. But at least he's getting the chances.
Right,
I'm not
right. Without
Shaq Thompson, but
I mean, how many times do we talk on offense? It's about opportunities, total touches, targets. That's what everybody's talking about. It's the same thing with defense. You're getting these snap percentages. It's one thing to get 60% and not do shit with it, but it's another thing if you're only getting less than 50 and not doing nothing. If you're getting less than 50, it's not about production. There's something going on here that you're not. There's just something wrong there. I don't know what it is, but to me, that's a big red flag.
Yep.
I mean, Shaq was fine week 1. Week 2, I mean, it was just a bad game, it looks like.
Right. And the best ability is availability. Come on. You know
yes,
that.
Sir.
See, Trevathan's on the wrong side of 30 at this point for me. I mean,
yeah, I get the age thing.
Trying to trade Trevathan away. So, yeah, try to trade
who's getting the other snaps, though? Who's getting the other snaps, Jonny?
So, here you go. You're talking about the snaps.
Right.
You guys tell me. Here you go. Danny Trevathan was forced out of Sunday's game. Who were they playing? Who were they playing on Sunday?
Giants.
Giants. Yeah, Giants.
Was it the Giants? Do we know for a fact he wasn't hurt?
I looked for my article. He did not have questionable or anything.
Was he not feeling well? Was he? We don't know this stuff yet.
I don't know because
it's an overreaction.
Right. Frank.
Well, he didn't take his summer's eve, so he was feeling a little under the weather.
I'll check again, but I did not see an injury, and that's something. Right, and that's something about Frank Clark people are freaking out about too. They see the Q and they think he's hurt. He was just blowing chunks. That's all. He's going to be fine for Sunday.
Right.
He'll play.
I would be curious to see who was getting the other snaps for Chicago at linebacker.
Oh, I saw it. I told you guys it was someone shitty. Barkevius Mingo.
Oh, yeah. Mingo, yes. See, oh my God, if Barkevius Mingo is beating you for snaps, you're fucking screwed. Oh my God.
Darrell, how's Clowney looking? Is the question here.
He's all right. I mean, he's what you're expecting. He's not going to get you the huge sack totals. That's not what he is. He's a run stopper.
He hasn't done much. I mean, now here is the one thing I will say about Clowney.
Yeah, but how many times have we talked about this thing? You're paying for the impact plays.
He hasn't made any. He hasn't made any.
You can't.
But what I was saying is, this is the second straight year he's jumped on a team with little or no practice in August and trying to learn a scheme on the fly. How much of it is he's just going to go out there and do what he does, and Vrabel will kind of pull him and use him and kind of tweak what he does and kind of work around the rest of the defense around him, kind of, like he will do whatever he's doing, and then everybody else has a strict playbook thing. They might not stick him out there for full snaps, and they probably won't. He's probably not conditioned to to
He looks good. He looks good, but his stats aren't. His stats. Yeah. He's not getting to the quarterback. I mean, he's coming up short all the time.
Well, he's not a pass rusher, though. I mean, he's a run stopper. That's his game. And they don't have any other options. They don't.
Yeah, somebody picked up Keelan Cole over. I mean, Devontae Adams probably isn't playing, so that's probably what you had to do. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, guys. People are going to have bad games. I mean, Adams probably isn't playing, so you'd get a 0 out of Adams too. I mean, Cole only got a couple catches, maybe.
Seems like Cole's going to be the guy down there, though.
Yeah, not a terrible game, but not a great game either. Zach Cunningham did look bad in the first game, but yeah, he had points. I mean, he did a couple of stupid things and got some flags. We got some more comments and questions here, so let's run through some of these. We got a lot, actually.
And the one thing when we're running through these things, we got to remember, these are guys who haven't had a preseason, who haven't played preseason games. They're coming in off basically August training camp, so to speak. And I use training camp very loosely because they haven't done any tackles. I've said this many times on many shows that when comparing this to the 2011 lockout, it's always more difficult for the defense to adjust than an offense to adjust, because you can't simulate tackling. I can go up there with my quarterback, wide receivers. I can get a timing with them, but I can't practice tackling. I can't get my angles down. And this goes not only for rookies trying to catch up to the game speed, but older veteran players too, because they haven't had a chance to hit someone in a long time. Zach Cunningham looked out of sorts a little bit, like you were saying there. That's just wait until week 3. Like, don't overreact in week 1, 2, and 3. These guys have to get their timing. It's going to be sloppy football, especially on the defensive side. Hold your studs, guys that you believe in. Shaq Thompson is a great example. You know what I mean? These guys will come around. It's going to come around by week 4, week 5, and whatever you're doing with your palm of your hand there.
4. Week 4 is when I really take a look at my roster and say, okay, this guy's terrible. This guy's not doing anything this year. This guy's done. Right. That's when I start to evaluate. Give it a quarter of the year, and if they're still sucking, then you bench them. I mean, but I'm not benching somebody off of 1 bad game or 2 bad games, because if they've given me 3 seasons to prove otherwise. I mean, like Shaq Thompson last year, I think proved enough in his season last year. I'm going to give him 1 bad game and not, throw him out right away.
Yep.
Moving on, we got some questions. What would you offer James Robinson? I've seen a lot of James Robinson offers. If you can get a first for him, that's what you do. He's trying to acquire him. I don't think I'd give up a second. You got him for free.
Here's my thought process here as well. In redraft, I'm trying to acquire James Robinson. In Dynasty, I'm trying to sell James Robinson. And like you said, I've seen him get traded for firsts in Dynasty. If you can get a first for James Robinson, absolutely jump on that, and you take that.
Wow.
I'm not
Ben is trying to acquire him because he's without CMC, so he just needs somebody, I think, to keep him afloat until CMC is available again.
Oh my God! If you can get a first for Robinson, you jump all over that like Coach
But
said.
that's not the situation here, guys.
If
He's
you're
trying to acquire him.
I've seen on Twitter a lot of people posting getting Robinson for a second round. I think that's probably the most likely.
If you're the Robinson owner, honestly,
Dynasty.
If you're the Robinson owner, you got him for free, or you got him for an undrafted, like a 7th round pick. You got him as a low round thing. So if you can get a second for him, that's nothing but profit. I'd ask first, just because he had a nice game, 2 touchdowns. You try to cash in on that. Yeah. if you're trying to acquire him, I don't give up anything more than a second, and that's only if I think I need a running back. I mean, like this situation with CMC, he's going to be back in 6 weeks?
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
So, I mean, you need somebody for this short term in which, Zigbo and Armstead could very well, when they are healthy and back, steal carries away from Robinson because
I think I would give up a third at most for him, because I think if you give up anything earlier than that, you're just I don't really see the value. I really don't. I'm not going to.
Everybody going down, somebody's going to give you a second for him, I think.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, if I'm trying to acquire him, I'm not going to overpay.
But that's Ben's situation. He's sitting there. He had an injury happen on his team. He feels like he's going to lose the next couple weeks if he doesn't have a running back. I mean, you're going to lose this week maybe because Robinson already played. So you're not getting him this week.
If that's the case, then you give a second. But I'm not giving up a first for him. There's no way then.
Hell, either. But I mean, the people with Robinson are going to ask for a first.
Yeah, I mean, that's legitimate. If you have him, you're asking for a first. Absolutely. But if you're trying to get him, no, second's where I draw the line, and that's a worst case scenario.
Leonard, you got to remember, Uncle Lenny had 265 carries with Jacksonville last year. Those touches are all going to end up with James Robinson this year. I don't care about Ozigbo. I don't care about Armstead. Robinson's honestly earned any touches that he's getting. And Fournette only had 3 rushing touchdowns last year. That's the key. Robinson's already at that number. Right. So if you look at what Leonard Fournette did last year, I think he was like an RB7. James Robinson is on that same path to be RB7 or better. Like that's crazy to me. In Dynasty, I'd be probably willing to pay a second. Yes. If I'm trying to trade him, I want a first. In redraft, I'm definitely willing to pay the piper to get him for this season because I think he's going to end up inside the top 10 running back. So in redraft, I'm going out there and I'm getting him because I want to win.
Moving on, DeMarcus Lawrence. John, what can you tell us about DeMarcus Lawrence?
He's a little banged up this week. He's iffy to play with a knee injury. But he's a defensive end, so it's a spotty, naturally, inconsistent position. His game 1 was not great. His game 2 was fine. 5 combined tackles for a defensive end, if you're not going to get a sack, is perfectly acceptable. I think he'll be fine. He's not going to be a DE1. He's not going to be the DE1 like I've seen somewhere in IDP Twitter that was just batshit fucking crazy. But he'll be a good defensive end for you. He's a good DE2. That's what he's always been. That's where the value's always been. Pair him with Garrett. Pair him with Hunter, and you're looking good.
What's hilarious is he actually played less snaps in week 2 and had more tackles and more points.
Right.
Crazy. He played almost like I guess another third of the snaps in week 1 and did nothing with them. So
yeah,
it really depends. And people like to look at snap counts, and they are useful tools. I'm not saying throw them out, but it's about what you do with the snaps a lot of times. So I mean,
that's what I was saying about Trevathan.
Trevathan hasn't done crap with the snaps.
That's what I said.
So.
Yeah, I said that.
Trevathan didn't do anything with his snaps.
What's his name, Coach? What's his name?
That's Slade, named after Slade Wilson, Deathstroke.
Slade.
Nice.
Beautiful pup.
And just real quick before we move on, I was extremely happy with that win last week, but I think Russ is gonna cook all over us this week. I'm not looking forward to it.
Mr. Unlimited.
Jesus.
Who's this Kyle Bellefeuil guy I keep seeing on our chat?
3 safety sets in Chicago. I mean, that's a trend. That running 3 safeties is a trend that's happening, especially if you got a safety that likes to tackle.
Yeah, and like you said, the Dynasty Vipers pointed that out too. Kyle Bell, I don't know if you know who Kyle Bell is, but he's the one guy in the IDP industry who doesn't see Dingus as an IDP expert. So if you're wondering who he is, that's exactly who.
Dingus is over here trying to tell you to buy Trevathan.
Oh, geez.
You just cook.
That's funny.
Oh,
well,
There was talk about Bush.
Way too much Danny Trevathan on this show.
There is. But they were talking about Bush was supposed to be that other starting safety with Skid Marks Jackson this year, and now they're finding a way to get him in. I guess I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why you have so much Trevathan. I don't make it a history. I don't make it a point to invest in nearly 30-year-old linebackers.
Yeah, that's tough. When you have so many shares, that's tough.
There's no Vipers comment there. See, I'm trying to catch up on all the comments here. We got stuck talking about Danny Trevathan for a half hour, for Christ's sake. So,
which consequently is more than he played on the field that he lost.
Jesus.
Bazinga!
So, yeah, good James Robinson talk. I mean, I have him, and I'm just going to ride him out as far as I can. And, if somebody wants to make an offer, instead somebody wanted to offer me for Nick Chubb, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not giving up Nick Chubb.
Whoa.
I'm trying to get a championship here.
Coach loves himself some Redbirds. I was a big fan of Marshawn Coppridge, too, coming out of Illinois State. I love me some James Robinson. And yes, Dingus never forgets.
Dingus an elephant. He never forgets. Frank Clark against Baltimore this week. Think going against a run, he'll do okay. I mean, he's decent run stopper. I mean, he's not a pin your ears back and don't worry about stopping the run. He's pretty solid, and he'll get you a couple tackles this week, definitely.
I'm firing up Frank Clark for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny was just talking about him blowing chunks. That's why he was out last week, basically.
Right.
He's blowing chunks.
He's fine.
If you watched him in week one, he was dominating in week one, the Texans. He was bending. He was getting to the quarterback. Lamar Jackson, as great as Lamar Jackson is, all mobile quarterbacks run themselves into a sack at some point. So not only is Frank Clark acceptable in the run game, he's going to make a play in the passing game too. I guarantee you this week he ends up with a sack somehow, some way.
You fire up. See, these matchups between high-octane offenses with decent defenses, you fire up everybody. Like, you play everybody because there's going to be big plays made in this game one way or the other. I mean, if it happens, Chris Jones,
So offense is good for IDP. That should be known. I don't think it is sometimes. But the more successful offense there is on both sides, the better it is for both team defenses, the more chances it plays. Going 3 and out every single drive like the Jets do. How did the Colts IDP perform last week? Leonard got his barely. Buckner got a sack. That's it.
Yeah. Trip with is this an IOP pod? Well, we take all questions. We don't discriminate here. We try to say we're IDP, but every once in a while people throw offensive questions in, and we just generally like to talk football. At least I do.
And to be honest, I've been told I'm not even an IDP expert, so hit me up with some offensive questions.
Wow.
I've been writing a little bit of offense, although my articles, I think my rookie thing is going to be every other week because I wrote one last week and I didn't have time this week, so it'll be out next week. Although Justin Herbert will get to start again, so my first paragraph can stay the same. I can just add in his 3 stats to go along with week 2 stats. So
nice.
That was supposed to drop tomorrow, but IOP, yes. Individual offensive players.
Yeah.
I like to play in one of those.
We're talking about way too much offense if we're getting those confidence.
I was saying when you made your 5th exit of the evening that we talk football. Whatever questions people bring.
Why you gotta be such a freaking liar?
We are for the people.
You put me in a bad. That was not my 5th. It was only my 2nd.
Next week we're gonna keep a tally of how many times Hollywood leaves the chair.
You do that. See this? I hate you. I fucking hate you. Jesus Christ.
So it's funny.
I hate you like a bad freaking rash.
Until we had some questions rolling in here shortly, but Nate asked how the pod went the other night, and I said, well, Sean and Hollywood got into a little bit because Sean's not used to Hollywood with his mannerisms and his flipping out for no reason, and Sean was trying to just say, I'm just giving an opinion.
See,
how is it wrong?
If you can't match my intensity, then GTOFH.
Well, I don't know if it was not matching your intensity. He didn't understand how you could say someone's wrong for having a different opinion on it.
Because
they
don't agree with me. It's pretty easy.
So here's some more IOP talk here. And something's out. Do you think Judy will take over the number one role? He should. I mean, I just picked up KJ Hamler right as the pod was coming on, I think, actually, as a
you got to think he would, wouldn't you? If something's out, Deshaun Hamilton's nothing. Hamler's kind of whatever. I think
Hamler's a top guy. I think Judy. Yeah. Noah Fant, number one receiver for that team right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Judy's gone off and embarrassed a couple DBs already with his route running ability. But let's not forget Tim Patrick is still there. And I don't care what anyone says. Tim Patrick's going to find a way somehow to screw everyone in the fantasy world and get him some. You know what I'm saying? Tim Patrick's going to get himself some. But Jerry Jeudy, that route running ability, he's already made a few DBs just look darn silly.
How about this one? Deontay Spencer. He already returns kicks, so he's automatically active on game day. Not going to be number one, but just throwing that out there. But yeah, I think Noah Fant's the number one receiver. I mean, he's playing tight end, obviously.
Fant's going to dominate the targets.
Hands down.
Do you really want to rely on Jeff Driscoll though for your fantasy team?
And they signed Blake Bortles. What does that tell you? Jesus,
that's desperation.
Oh my God. Holy hell.
Hey.
How bad do you have to be to sign Blake freaking Bortles? Jesus Christ.
Blake Bortles nearly took a team to the Super Bowl.
He was on the Super Bowl, man.
I mean,
oh my God, I can't wait. This is where I go off the rails, is with these two and this bullshit right here. I can't.
Hey, when was the last time Carson Wentz was in the NFC Championship game?
Don't let the facts get in the way.
That's a good point, Coach. That's a good point, Coach. Carson Wentz had nothing to do with that Super Bowl. Zero.
Yes. I didn't say he did.
One championship. We know Ryan Tannehill has what it takes to get to an AFC championship. Same as Blake Bortles, but
I hate you. That's it. Yeah. Oh, you motherfucker! You. I hate you. Oh my God! You're making me lose my religion, Coach.
This is a good question.
This is what people come with. So, D-Win, talk about Kenny Vaccaro. Is he getting more of the overhang work that was so fruitful for Logan Ryan last year? If not, who is?
No, I think he is. And I'll give you a little bit of insight here because I have been listening all week to every radio show, every podcast, to every interview. Vaccaro might be real for the next couple weeks. You might get what you saw last week because Chris Jackson has a hamstring injury. Adoree Jackson's still on IR. Malcolm Butler is banged up. So they're going to start Christian Fulton, and I think Vaccaro is picking up the slack in that secondary. Byard is going to be what he is, but it's going to be Vaccaro that's doing a little bit of everything. And if you want a super deep sleeper, you need to pick up Amani Hooker because I think with their depleted depth, because they've been bringing in 2 or 3 all week, defensive backs to see if they can find somebody, and they've not. I think it's Vaccaro, and I think Hooker is the next one that steps up. They're going to run those 3 safety sets that you've been seeing in San Diego just because their depth is so depleted. So, yeah, I like Hooker this week. Absolutely.
Yeah, Hooker did play 20 snaps of free safety.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of special teams. So, I mean.
He does, but I mean,
I know you love your Hawkeyes. But.
Yeah, with the injuries, though, I think he gets the play, but I think Vaccaro is the guy because he's going to be used a little bit everywhere. So, yeah, I do like Vaccaro. I've actually picked him up in a few leagues. So, yeah, I agree with that.
All right, and I mean Christian Fulton got an interception. For as much as you hate him, he made a big play the other day.
Yep.
He did. He's doing all right. I think if Chris Jackson's healthy, he's the guy you want as the young guy because he's playing the slot. But with Dory out, I mean, Sean
versus Hollywood versus Dingus in a pay-per-view triple threat match.
See, Sean's an instigator.
So if Sean didn't know what to do with Hollywood last week on the show, like you were saying, and you just see how easy it is to get Hollywood all frazzled up on the side, I think this is a no contest, really. I think people will be just wasting their money on this one.
Dingus, can you pull off a Canadian destroyer being Canadian? Do you learn how to do that at like age 2?
Dude, we learned how
that
to
is the most badass wrestling move. It looks like you kill somebody.
So the thing is, like 90% of us up here play hockey, right? The first thing we learn is how to put foil on. That's like the very first thing you learn as a kid up here.
Slap shoot. Gotta get my foil.
You wrap these knuckles in foil so you can get them going. That's how we roll things up here up north.
It's straight out of slap shoot. Yes, I have to start sit with Vaccaro, him or Chin.
Chin.
Yeah, I'm going
Chin.
Chin. Yeah. I mean, Chin was announced as a linebacker. They want to talk about Shaq Thompson. I think Chin is taking a lot of his scraps.
Right.
Yeah, Chin's all over the place though. It's not just linebacker. It was like 5 different places week 1.
Chin,
crazy.
Chin is exactly what the Cardinals should be doing with Isaiah Simmons, but they're too stupid to realize how to do it.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep. I swear I was on a show talking about. I swear I was on a show talking about this here just the other day. Jeremy Chin has always been just as good as Isaiah Simmons. He is what we've wanted Isaiah Simmons to be. And if you look at our IDP guys draft guide, we talk about Jeremy Chin in that draft guide in particular, and I was very high on him as one of my top safeties, saying basically he's everything you want in Isaiah Simmons, except you can get him much later in your drafts. And Jeremy Chin has been nothing but spectacular to start with.
That wasn't necessarily true. I saw Simmons and Chin pretty close. I mean, maybe a couple picks.
Well,
Chin was the top safety.
If you look at my data, if you go back and look at my database, Simmons was going way ahead of Chin. Simmons was up there with Queen and Chin.
You look at August draft. Chin was going right up there with Simmons because we still had no clue what Simmons is going to be. This is an interesting question. Are you worried Chin will get moved to linebacker next year? Nah, because he'll be a good linebacker. He'll be the top linebacker in Carolina probably because Tahir Whitehead isn't sticking around there.
Nope.
He could be the green dot guy.
They'll draft a linebacker before they move him. Michael Parsons, Dylan Moses.
Now, I know this is television, but you got to put some stock into what graphics guys put up on that screen because you don't think somebody in that Carolina team told them he's the starting outside linebacker this week, or maybe they needed to fit him on the graphic. I mean, maybe they just kind of slid him from the safety graphic down to the linebacker graphic. They ran out of room. But there's a reason he ended up on that graphic with LB next to his name, and that's because probably he's playing a lot of run. He's playing. I mean, they're moving him around a lot.
Right.
But
they got a very young, inexperienced defense there. I think they're starting the most rookies of any team on defense right now. And Jeremy Chin is a baller. You're going to put him. Yep. You're going to bring him up on the line as much as possible. That's where he's going to thrive. He's that hybrid safety. Linebacker role that we've all been looking at. I think he could tackle just as good as another former New Mexico safety moved linebacker and Brian Urlacher. Jeremy Chin has that ability to do that. You got to remember, Urlacher started he played college. All college was in New Mexico there at safety before he moved to linebacker in the National Football League with the Bears.
Major points for you, coach.
So here's a little
same ability to do so, and I think they'll keep him at safety, but he's going to be playing that linebacker role good chunk of his career, especially this season, especially with how young that defense is right now.
Here's some stats for you. Week 1, he played more snaps in the box in that linebacker-ish role in week 1. Week 2, he actually played a pretty split between corner, safety, and linebacker. So week 1 is probably where the TV production crew probably said he plays linebacker. That's where he's showing up, most of the snaps.
Right.
So that's probably why they put him there. Week 2 is a little bit more of an even split between the different places. So, what they'll list him as this week, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe that's the one reason to check out Carolina this week. I don't think it matters if they call him. I mean, I'm not worried about if they call him a linebacker. Yeah, that drops him down a little bit, but
he's a baller.
I mean, they're defensive coaches from college, and he is everything I read in preseason was they want to run a hybrid offense. They don't really want to run a 3-4 or 4-3. They want to run multiple set, all kinds of shit. So it's not like a box 4-3 defense they're trying to play. Right. The Panthers, we have some stats here. Tripp does some studying of the stats like you do, Jonny, here. Packers front office is used to a 4-2-5 base from Steve Wilkes days, similar role to Shaq Thompson and Thomas Davis. And it's kind of what they're running with Thompson and Whitehead. Your 4 linemen, your Chin, Burris, and Boston have been playing 100% snaps. So
Dante Jackson too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing corner, for them on the outside.
Love Dante Jackson at corner.
Me too.
Sean says, I can't wait to hear the knowledge coach will drop once he becomes an expert.
It's true. That's true. I'm still working my way up there, apparently.
Oh, shit. Coach is so underrated. He is given I love you, Coach.
The fact is, in my opinion, the term analyst is always a very loose term out there, right? I prefer the word fanalist because I'm a dumbass. Let's be honest here. I'm a dumbass.
I can't.
There's no expert knowledge in this whole thing. So,
see, here's how I consider somebody to be an expert. Do you get paid to do this?
Right.
In some cases you do. In some cases you don't. In some cases you get paid a few bucks here or there. And if this is your career, then I don't know. And I'm not saying experts just because they're paid or any good at their job, because there's tons of people paid to do terrible jobs and stuff. So I mean,
you know what? See, I don't consider the pay part a thing. I don't. There's some guys that don't get paid probably what they need to be paid that I like more than others, and there's some guys that get paid probably big bucks that I think their takes are absolute shit.
I would say that's fine, but I mean, you are what you get paid to do.
True. And I'm not hating on the guys that do get paid. I'm just saying that
some of them are really good at their job, and some of them are collecting a paycheck because they're a talking soundbite or walking soundbite, or they have hot takes, and
Right.
And then you know what? Some of us just find that one thing that we're really good at, and we just hammer away at it.
Yeah, and I'm good at promoting Blue Chew. That's what I'm good at.
That's true.
I'm good at running the Ryan Tannehill for MVP campaign. That's what I'm good at.
I freaking hate your ass. God.
I'm good at riling up Darrell every single episode.
See, I'm trying to be good here, but you're leaving me no option to call you a dirty right now.
You're not trying nothing.
I've had that one in the holster.
Watson, Goff, or Cam. I'm going with Cam. And
Cam.
I'm going with Goff. Those are two.
That's tough, man.
That is tough.
Here's the thing. Watson's got a tough matchup in Pittsburgh. We know how that's going to turn out. They got a lot of edge pressure coming off there. It scares me with Watson. Goff versus Buffalo. I think they're going to find most of their success in the run game with their wide receivers on those jet sweep action. That's where they're going to have their most success there. Cam versus Vegas. He has an opportunity there with Edelman's going to eat again. Like, dude, you went for like 180 yards last week. So he's
He's
getting
at a
that
career
chemistry.
high.
Yeah, he's getting that chemistry with them. And then you take in the fact that Cam's going to get a rushing touchdown one way or the other. It's going to happen. Give me Cam amongst these three.
I was scared to
He's
1 yard line that they were losing that game because of Cam Newton.
Oh, I know. He needs two though. It's super flex. Give me Goff and Cam.
Yeah, I'm going Goff and Cam. Goff and Watson. I hate
think
to
I
bench
go
Watson.
Cam and Goff.
That's who I say, Cam and Goff, I think. It's
Watson's
hard
going to they're going to be playing from behind. I think they really are. So he could get some big numbers in the passing game.
Have 5 seconds to throw the ball.
Right.
True. That's going to be the thing, whether he has time to sling it or not.
He's not. That offensive line's garbage, and
I'm
he's gonna get
hoping
killed.
not.
I hope not too, because I have Watson.
Bye, Coach.
I got to roll out here, guys. Have fun.
Have a good night.
So here's
Coach.
an interesting one. I
I
have
got to
to
go
Later,
study
Coach.
my IDP guys. I got to go
Love you,
study my
Coach.
IDP guys for dummies. So I'll
There
let
you
you be an
go.
expert next time I come back.
I got to start too, and one of them is Kyler Murray, who's looking outstanding.
Oh, that's perfect this week. Perfect.
He's one I'm
Love me
definitely
some
starting.
Kyler
But
Murray.
I have Watson, Herbert, and Trash Biscuit.
Trash Bitsky, baby. No doubt.
Who are they playing this week? The Bears are
Atlanta.
playing. Oh yeah, that could be.
Who they playing?
That's
It always is a high-scoring affair with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. Dude, it could be. It could be.
It ought to be a shootout. 'Cause
It
the
could
Falcons
be,
all
it
they
could
do is
be.
play shootouts.
It's a roll of the dice, but those other guys are too, you know?
Not Kyler though. Kyler is going to destroy.
Yeah, right. Not Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Kyler
I
ripped
think,
in a new set of butt cheeks.
and I read something. I read an article today about Murray being an MVP, and that's a little. I think they need to pump the brakes a little bit on that. He's been very good for that team.
Yeah.
He has, but that's not far-fetched, really.
It's 2 games.
I know Lamar lit it on fire last year, but Murray has the same ability. We saw how elusive he is. He just came short of that third touchdown, and Hopkins, he's going to make the difference for him.
Yeah. I don't know that that's a stretch. The win-loss record will be an issue, but his production is going to be up there.
This question here, and I can take a look at that real quick here. We got about 15 minutes left, so if you got any more questions coming in here. I don't know what the line was, Ben. Do you know what the line was? Because I can look at it what it is up to date
It
now.
started at -5.5. Arizona. What's it at now?
Let's see here. Let's see. Detroit.
Oh, and just while he's looking at that, just for all my Tennessee listeners, gambling is becoming legal no later than November the 1st. So we are closing on that.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
5.5. It's still 5.5.
Really?
Ooh,
Wow.
5.5.
Not
Wow.
in Tennessee, I don't think. Unless you live in Tennessee.
Yeah, no.
Pretty
No,
sure
I th-
Darrell would be gambling by now if he could.
Right. Dan,
Yeah,
I took this
November the
as-
1st. We're
No, I'm happy
Go
for you,
ahead.
Hollywood. I wish we could get it here. Seriously. But yeah, no, I took that as the Johnny the Greek this week because that's the easiest -5.5 I've ever seen in my life.
Although the
I
over,
think so too. Yeah.
under, they're expecting a shootout. So I think shootout is definitely possible. The over under is 55.5.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. I'm just taking Arizona
Yeah.
minus the points and betting my mortgage on it.
You're not going to take the over under at 55.5?
I just don't want to touch it. I don't know what Lions
55.
team we're getting. I don't know what
So here-
Lions team we're getting.
Yeah, but they put up what,
You think
30
that's high?
against Green Bay?
You think
They
that's
did.
high? The over under for Dallas and Seattle is 57.
Oh, shit.
Over.
That might be an over, but
That's going to go over 60.
Yeah,
probably will.
probably.
But I caution you because I remember a few years back. I think it was Saints Giants back when the Giants could actually sling the ball.
I remember that.
And everybody had every fantasy analyst here, expert, if you will, said roll out. You know, it was one of those blanket games. You play every Saint, you play every Giant. It's going to smash the over. It was like 7-6.
That's right. Because the time they played before that, exactly that happened. You remember that? Exactly.
Yeah,
that
and
happened.
this is where you really, and this is where this is a weekly game that happens once a week, and any given Sunday,
right?
Anything can happen, and that's why you said you joked around and said you're betting your mortgage, and whether you're betting your mortgage or not,
I'm not.
The Lions.
He said, "I'm not."
The Lions are upset because nobody in their right mind saw the Jags beating the Colts week 1.
Right.
Everybody said the Jaguars are garbage. The Colts have this great offensive line. They have Phillip Rivers. They're gonna move the ball. They didn't do crap. So you look at these games, they're smash plays, and it's
you never know. You never
Sean
know.
says you guys don't have a sports book, so you don't have a way to do it. So you're not allowed to go on FanDuel or sports. I see in FanDuel and then DraftKings, they link up with a local sports book. That's how they kind of operate in your state. So just a little insight. Because you'll look at your heading, and my heading says, I think, Valley Forge Casino or something for one of them. That's the link they have with the deal they made with one of the casinos. Smashing that Dallas versus Seattle over, parlay them. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's over 50, the parlay I won last week with the overs, they were low 40s, most of them. I think one of them was over 47, but, I think that was, I can't remember which game. Might have been Arizona covered the one for me, but I think. But yeah, I try not to do too much sports gambling, but I dabble a little bit to make the games a little more interesting.
Yeah, you don't want to force it. That's the thing, right?
Right.
And you don't want to bet your mortgage, Sean.
right. Yeah. No.
You want to bet your funny money, your extra money.
Right. Right.
I noticed you changed up the background here, Alex. Back to
Oh my God, it's great, Alex.
I was in offensive mode a little bit earlier on my videos, but I had to switch back up.
So you got Sayal Leonard. Who are Lawrence Taylor and James Harrison. Very nice. Very nice.
Greatest.
By the way, as much as it would hurt, I would love to get tackled by James Harrison just to meet James Harrison.
You may not live.
I don't know. I'll buy you my bones a little more than that.
I don't know how much fun. That must have been a lot of fun for him to film that commercial because he got to smash all kinds of crap in that dude's house. The set or whatever. But yeah, he got to smash a chair. He got to smash through a wall. That looked like fun.
I hate to live to tell the story. It's all good.
That's true, man. You can say I got sacked by James Harrison. And that dude can still probably outlift half these dudes in the NFL.
I would make a shirt that said I survived a sack by James Harrison.
Don't bet all of our blue chip money.
Since we're talking about the fuck team defense, got my shirt on Hollywood.
There you go.
Oh my God, I love that shirt. It's so great. Love it.
That's awesome, man. What site are you with? Who do you write with?
So King Fantasy Sports, that's where I put some IDP content, but a lot of it's just me doing YouTube, Fantasy Football Hustler. That's the brand that I kind of built myself around. And it all started with, me giving friends advice on stuff. And then I started a Facebook community about 4 years ago. And a lot of it's just been within there. And now I kind of expanded, got in the Twitter world late 2019 and started creating content at the beginning of the year and just started linking up with everybody.
That's awesome, man. The more the merrier for IDP. We gotta spread the gospel,
Yep, and the hustler brings it. He does. He brings some good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for DFS, I'd love for them to get rid of the team defense and
Yeah. That would give
That
us such an advantage. Think about it.
I know.
You know, we could plug in Joe frigging Thomas and save, thousands of dollars in money, and then use that for like CMC and Michael Thomas and all this other shit. Like,
Well, not this week.
Yeah, you know what I mean? In general, because we know, the warm body linebackers that are going to produce, the Marcus Mays of the world, all those guys. We'd make a killing with that. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it would be good. I like Washington as a DFS defense though, because I think they're going to get sacks. I mean, they had a little weak. That's
against Arizona, yeah. They're gonna mess Baker up this week, man.
But don't you think they're going to be a week-to-week play? I mean, every week they're going to be a valuable option because that front four, or as I say, that front six,
yeah,
they are beasts, man. I mean, and what you can get them at on DFS, their value is usually pretty low.
Well, they're creeping up there because I think
they're starting to creep up. But damn, man, the value you can get them at, it helps you so much.
And it took Kyler Murray running for his life, and I mean, he's just good enough and fast enough to get away. But there's not many people that are going to outrun that front four. And man, Chase Young just living up to expectations. He's looking awesome.
Seriously,
yeah. And Kyler Murray, early on, I mean, he's still got some time, but the way he kind of gets out of sacks is, I've watched a number 3 in Seattle for a number of years try to pull those magic tricks. And he knows how to slide. He's got the baseball background too. So there's former baseball players, flicking the wrist, sidearm, and stuff like that. I think those two, you might see a lot of parallels between the way they play. They're both shorter quarterbacks. I mean, you can make a lot of comparisons between the two, but his style of play, I mean, I know Kingsbury's offense is a little more up-tempo and more let Russ cookish early on in his career than, run up the middle 5 times that Russell had to deal with in the early parts of his career. But yeah.
The thing I really like about Murray and the way they kind of get him going in the beginning of the game, it's always a lot of easy runs, or a lot of easy dink and dunk passes. And you just see his confidence rise as the game goes. And I mean, it just starts slow, but they make the short, easy, plays. And man, he just gets out into space and whole different story after that.
I mean, they went out and got him arguably the best receiver in football for nothing. So, I mean, they wanted him to succeed, and they did. I mean, on the other side, you have Larry freaking, as soon as he retires, screw the 5-year rule, just put him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's coming from a Seahawks fan. So it's,
and they got him a defense. Not only did they draft Simmons, they got Devondre Campbell. They brought Jordan Phillips over.
I mean, they're so good at defense, they don't even have to use their top 10 pick on the field ever.
It's true.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's true. Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? I'm so pissed off about that because how do you have a top 10 pick rotting away at 15% snap counts?
Devondre Campbell. That's why.
That's not a reason why.
It's not a great reason.
Bernard and they have
doing. Yeah.
They have Chris Banjo and all these fools. Play him at safety. Get him on the field.
Yes.
Why aren't they doing that? The Cardinals, they used to run 3 safety sets a lot. I mean, why haven't they got back to that?
They're not playing him at safety. They're playing him at linebacker.
Right.
Because some coach got a stick up his ass about a reporter asking him if he's going to play safety, and he doesn't want to look like an idiot. So
Banjo has actually been a decent waiver wire safety so far while Thompson's out.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's no way in hell Chris Banjo is a better football player than Isaiah Simmons.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Ben says, as a Washington fan, that's all you have to watch for. I mean, it's again, as a Washington fan, you have to feel hope, though, because Ron Rivera is not an idiot, okay? He built a good team in Carolina for a number of years. And, their time ran out, and all coaches and teams have a divorce. I mean, Andy Reid and the Eagles. Andy Reid had that Eagles team loaded for years.
Yes.
There was a divorce time. It happens. Ron Rivera is not a bad coach. It's just his time was up. I mean, it happens. Bill Belichick's maybe the only one that's immune to that rule, it seems like. But early on in his career, he wasn't. But he is bringing a different culture to that team. He's not going to take Dan Snyder's shit. Like, he's not going to allow Dan Snyder to overpay for the bums, like Dan Snyder does his entire time in Washington. And he's setting, they're rebranding the entire damn team. I mean, so I mean, they are changing everything. So I mean, there is a lot to look up for. I mean, whether Gibson's a big player when that overhaul is done with, I don't know, because running backs' shelf lives are not terribly long. But good show. Set your lineups, yes. Set your damn lineups, people. If you're in 50 leagues, start tomorrow morning and work your way through. I mean, I have the Scott Fish MFL tool that's still working. I think if you have 100 leagues, it might not work, but my 50 still work. So, but anyway, Alex, you got a chance to shout out. Jonny, why don't you tell us what you're working on week after weekend, week out? The monster.
You say Alex, and all I know is hashtag fuck team defense. That's all I see him as. That's my boy down there. That's my boy.
He has a name, Hollywood.
No, yeah, Alex, we're gonna have to get you on the show for an interview one of these weeks here. So I'll hit you up.
Yes, sir.
We gotta pump each other up, man. We gotta get more people playing IDP. So I love it. I'll definitely hit you up.
That's my goal.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So yeah, I do the 13,000 word monster every week because I have issues.
That's a beast. God dang, yeah. I read that and it is a beast.
You know what my whole thing with that is I want to embarrass sites that make you pay for IDP stuff like that. I want to just embarrass them. Like they're putting out 900 words of garbage and I'm giving you 13,000 free words covering every single team, every single IDP relevant player, position, snap counts, production, all of it for free every week. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
IDPguys.org.
I was like, oh my God, you guys should bury your asses in the sand because he is burning you up. Yes, he is burning you.
He doesn't have his Twitter handle there, but it's OrangeMan3142.
Thank you.
And he's a great follow. If you don't follow him, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Lot of poop humor. A lot of poop jokes. Yeah.
Well, when you split butt cheeks like that, I mean, it's
true. Who is Johnny's butt splitter of the week? We didn't get it this week.
Yeah. Man, I think it's Josh Allen after Thursday.
Josh Allen, there you go.
Yeah, cheek splitter of the week. Yep.
Yes.
Cheek splitter of the week. You heard it.
Sign off, Hollywood. We already know where you're at all the time, everywhere. We'll speak to the people that had to leave at Nate Cheat, at IDP guys. Check out their show weekly. And at Dingus4, Coach, the Dynasty Vipers.
I don't know who Dingus is, but I do know who Coach is.
I need to learn how to use the mute button more often.
After 3 years, you would think you'd learn, but hey, whatever.
Well, we didn't start using this until a little while ago. So.
Well.
But yes. Hollywood and you can find our writing at idpguys.org, IDP Nation. We are recording a Dig podcast. I'm just going to hit play or record, and those two are going to talk about college football because I need a night off.
I can't wait. God dang.
I'm probably going to play Madden. I'm probably honestly going to have the computer sit next to me and hit record with like an earbud in, and when you guys are done, just tell me to hit
That's
stop.
all right. Me and Eric don't need you. We will go off.
I need a Madden night where I just completely escape the real world for about 2 hours, and But that's what this has kind of been. It's 11 o'clock. It's been real. Thank you all for the questions and comments. If you're rewatching this, good luck in week 3.
Jonny, gotta be back.
Nobody else has any damn ACL tears. I mean, we already got one in week 3.
Seriously.
Oh, the injuries have been brutal.
What a bitch ass ligament. Good night. And just for Hollywood.
Oh,
Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye.
Oh, I hate him. God.